Yes, people. So, as a 19-year-old with £400 and no idea what he was doing, I moved out to Vietnam. I'm going to tell you why you need to do the exact same thing. So, the intention for this video is by the end, you'll understand why leaving your hometown is not about running away, it's about discovering who you actually are when no one knows your past, your name, or your story, and how it's about distance forcing you to grow. So, context, why should you even listen to me? As I always say, you're probably thinking, who is this shiny headed bold motherfucker on my camera? Right, so I left the UK with £400 and 1 month of accommodation covered. Terrible. Would I recommend it? No, absolutely not. But would it build you as a person? Absolutely. I went with no safety net, no fallback, no real plan, no idea what I was going to do. And I just had faith that I could figure it out. 6,000 miles later, I am not just surviving, I have never been more alive. Life has never felt how it feels now. I've met normal people who I later found out are making 30, 40, 50k a month who are no different from me. I met this one guy and he started talking to me about how he loves Brazilians and he loves the on them, and then I later found out he makes like 60 grand a month. I thought, he's worse than me. He's worse than me. But it breaks these beliefs you have in your head. So that alone shattered every limiting belief I had. Look, we look over here. The plane, me going in the airport, the beautiful place here. The ticket, I had to go on 2 planes, by the way. It was awful. At 23 hours worth of travelling. Not fun whatsoever. On the way here, though, the second plane, I was next to these beautiful French girls. That was an amazing experience. Lovely women. I miss you, sweetheart. If you watch this, reach out to me. Right? Come home. The kids miss you. Right, next one. Emotional open. When you leave, you rebirth. The day... Oh, go away. The day I left, I did not feel brave. I'm trying to make this bigger. I'm sure you guys can keep reading. There we go. It felt sickening, right? It was awful. The day I left, it was not a good feeling. I did not feel good in myself. I did not feel confident within myself. My head was spinning with doubt, excitement, fighting fear. But the second I arrived, everything changed. Every person I met had no clue who I was. I had no past. I had no reputation. I had no expectations. And that freedom forces you to rebuild your identity from zero. So look, we have this... I'm telling you, this shiny-headed motherfucker over here. We have the plane here. My lovely Vietnamese friend that somehow butchered my name this terribly wrong. Neo. No one knows what that says. And then we've got airport, whatever else. Right. You'll never feel ready. This is the night before I left. Night before Vietnam. I feel sick, but I feel like I've never made as much of a correct decision as I have right now. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I have £400 or so to my name, but there is no reality I come home to the UK broke. I'm thankful for the man I am now in any and every way, his confidence, integrity, attitude, morals. He's a man I respect a great deal. But Lord knows this is only the start of my journey. This path was laid out for me from birth. I look forward to seeing the man I become. Now this is not about being poetic. This whole thing, oh, that's quite fun, that. But this whole thing is not about me trying to be poetic with my words. But it's about the fact that I intentionally built up so much discipline and self-belief before I even left for the UK. That by the time I left, even though I had little to no money, little to no fallback plan, or even kind of logic behind where I was moving, I knew that the person I am, I would make it happen. So, 6,000 miles away. As I said, I came here with almost nothing, £400 in belief, and I remember walking through Da Nang, which is where I'm staying, and thinking if this doesn't work, I'm really alone. There is not a single person I can call, I can text, I can go and see. I am completely and utterly alone. But that risk, it made me dangerous in the best way because you become incredibly resourceful when failure means booking a flight home that you cannot afford. You become grateful when strangers start to feel like home, and you find peace when you realise no one can save you but you. When you move far away, all the noise fades. Not a single person around you knows who you are. No one that you're walking down the street next to. No one that you walk into a shop and see. Not a single person you come across to in your day-to-day life has any clue who you are. You stop performing for other people. You stop living up to their expectations. You stop trying to be the person that you know they want you to be, and you just start existing as the person that you truly are. You stop trying to be understood and you start understanding yourself. Because in life, especially in the UK, I felt like I was constantly fighting for people to understand me, people to see me, people to see this drive in me, see this hunger, see this productive side of me. But here, I just started living up to my own expectations. I started understanding myself. I started putting time and effort into living up to the belief that I had about myself. Because I had nothing to prove to anyone. Because no one fucking knew me and no one that was around here cared. At all. It's isolation, but it's pure because you're forced to lead your own mind for once. And this is mainly be you, looking all stoic, sat on a rock. Proper thinking. That's mainly be you. Right. New environments change you. In the UK, I was surrounded by people who hated their lives. Here, I sit in cafes with people building theirs. Every table has a man running a business. Every conversation reinforces what's possible. Being around success forces you to elevate, and not by envy, but by proximity. You start thinking bigger because it's normal out here. This is Jack. Jack is a good friend of mine. He runs an AI automation agency. Jack is so fucking skilled with what he does, and he's the same age as me. He came out here in a similar position, but I would have never met someone like Jack if I stayed where I was. This is his business partner, Ben, who's a little older and somehow is fucking phenomenal with women. The first time I saw this guy, right, I'm sat on the sofa. He was about over here. I'm on the sofa over here, right, and I see him approach this beautiful girl. Gorgeous. Ben's, he's a handsome looking German man, don't get me wrong. We approached him, I thought in my head, oh, you beautiful fucker. Look at this handsome cunt approaching this girl, right? Not in a homosexual way, just clarify. I don't hate on gay men, that's not the way I go. However, in the UK, I don't know what it was, but I wouldn't see people like this. Here, every person you meet, they're confident within themselves. They've established themselves to some extent. They're doing something or they want to do something. Do you know how it feels to go from the UK, where everyone's working a normal job and the rare person is trying to build something for themselves, to suddenly go into an environment where every person you talk to is confident, every person you talk to has built something for themselves, every person you talk to wants more out of life? That reinforces to you time and time again what's possible, because every single person you meet is spectacular in their own right. And that did way more for me than anything else here ever did. You can see, we'd stay up late, we'd work together, we'd sit next to each other in the co-working cafe. I'd get my work done, he'd get his work done. That is a very conducive environment if you're trying to be productive, if you're trying to be better. You're not going to get that in the UK. Where in the UK can you go and work till 12 a.m. next to a random guy you met 3 days prior? You know, Jack ended up inviting me to his place. We had steaks with spoons together. Jack, if you see this, you freaky fucker. That was still disgusting. But we did. We had steaks together. We talked about stuff. We talked about our lives in the UK, how different they are, our businesses. You do not get them type of connections if you stay in the UK. You will meet people that are so incredibly spectacular. They may not be like people from your hometown. They are not like my friends. The friends that I've made out here, they're not like the people that I'm best friends with back in my hometown. But that's okay. I miss the people from my hometown. I love them. These people that I'm friends with and I've been friends with for a very long time, they mean so incredibly much to me. But the connection you have is different. The people here, I may not feel as close to them. I may not feel they understand me as much. But they're people that are way more aligned with the person that I want to be. And the people that I'm in the UK, and the people that I'm friends with in the UK and that I consider family, they're amazing people. I love them dearly once more. But if I spent every single day with them for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be the person I want to be. Because we just simply don't think in the exact same way. And that's okay. Not everyone should think in the exact same way. But if I spent every single day with Jack, don't get me wrong, once more, we may not be as similar. We may not understand each other in the way that I understand people from my hometown. But if we spent every single day together for the rest of our lives, our businesses would fucking flourish. Just because it's that relatability, it's that same mindset. And I'm not saying this as an example to show me and Jack are best friends. He's gone off to Bangkok now. He's doing his thing, right? But I'm saying it because you meet people that you are so aligned with that when you're around them, you want to become more of the person that you know you've always wanted to become deep down. Perspective shift. A ship is safe in harbour, but that is not what ships are built for. Obviously, you can see a ship here. Ships, they're very expensive. They're very big things. They're very fragile in some sense. Titanic, for example, that sunk. It's a fucking iceberg. What's that? Frozen water. But ships were never designed just to stay in the harbour. And neither are you. You weren't designed to stay in your hometown, work a boring job, live a normal life. I know that. Because I had that belief as well, this innate belief that for some weird reason, this is not what I'm destined for. This weird belief that I need to be doing more. And I know that if you're watching this and you've got this far, you probably have this same feeling. And that's why you need to chase that feeling, because one day it'll die. And you don't want this feeling to die, because that is when you stay stuck forever. Comfort will quietly kill you. You will never grow in an environment that keeps forgiving your excuses. Home makes you comfortable and comfort breeds complacency. If you are around people and you are in an environment and a setting where people are constantly validating your excuses, people are constantly validating this older version of yourself that you're trying to kill, that version of you will continue to exist. This version of me previously in the UK that was half in, half out to his business, still wanting to smoke all the time, still wanting to go on nights out all the time, that version of me would have never died in the way it has died now. That version of me would have never blossomed into the person I am now if I had never left. The longer you stay where you're understood, the longer you avoid who you're meant to be. You're not meant to be understood your whole life. Because if you're constantly being understood, you're never changing, you're never adapting, you're never evolving. You don't need to feel ready, you need to feel called. As I said, if you have this calling, if you have this urge, this feeling, get out. Do everything you possibly can to make it happen. There'll be a video another day where I detail how to actually do this for yourself. But you need to understand, if you have this calling, if you have this urge, this weird desire just to move and get out because you know you're destined for more, you must do it. Faith does not come before movement. It grows after you jump. Let's go here. Sometimes you must go too far to find out how far you can go. I don't know who said this. It was probably Rosa Parks or some shit. But it's the same as when I run my marathons on no training. I'd never run more than 3 miles before my first one. But sometimes you have to go so fucking far to understand how far you can actually go. And that's why it's so important you make the leap, because worst case scenario, you don't die. It's not failure. No failure in life is real failure. It's imagined. You're suffering in imagination. If you move 6,000 miles away, you stay there for 2 months, you go broke, and then you have to put a flight home on your credit card and move back home. You've gained so much life experience, so much knowledge, so much confidence, so much self-belief. This will stay with you for life, and you will also understand that you are capable of going that far. And that means that next time you go out there, because I know you're someone that perseveres, next time you go out there, you are going to fucking kill it. Because you've already come all this way. So you must go so far that you understand how far you can truly go. So what will you do? The Undeniable Project. Give me a minute of your time. This isn't for everyone, but for people that actually want to better their lives and the people that actually want to get to a point that I've got to. And, you know, they understand they want more for themselves. They understand that their life is meant for more than what it is right now. This, you need to give me a minute of your time. You need to watch this because I'm talking to you. The Undeniable Project is something that I built and I put together with my team and I, because we understood that being the person I used to be, so undisciplined, so lazy, so unmotivated, understanding I always had this desire for more, I understand I always had this calling. I never had direction, I never had structure, I never had this understanding of what I needed to do to become the person I wanted to be. So that is why I built the Undeniable Project. The Undeniable Project is not life coaching. It's not just mentoring. It's been a late one, guys. You're going to need to bear with me. But the Undeniable Project is a system. It's frameworks, external structure, it's hard accountability that reinforces this identity within yourself, that you can do difficult things, you can move abroad, you can do all these things that you know you want to do, but you don't fully trust yourself. This is a system, an intense mental boot camp that enables you to develop this level of self-trust. So if this sounds like the type of thing that you're trying to get out of life, if you feel like you are someone that wants more out of life, you do want to become this version of yourself that you know you've wanted to become this whole time, I advise you go to the website, link in bio, you can book a free strategy call. But equally, if you want to go in the description, you also see there's a free PDF on how I stopped wasting my potential and I built unstoppable momentum in my life and I became the man that I'm on my way to becoming today. I'm not yet the person I want to be, but I'm well on my way to being there, and I can help you do the exact same. And I know I can, because I'm so incredibly passionate about this work. But if you feel this is for you, you can book in a free strategy call. I'll hop on call with you. We'll figure out where you are, what's holding you back, what's stealing your energy, where you want to get to. Who does this future version of you look like? And what can you do to actually make this happen? Appreciate this time. And if you have this calling, get the fuck out your home country. Anyway, it's been good. Peace.